Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode, episode 16 of Biased Football Takes. And we've gone really far this season. We've gone really deep into the season. We have good stuff to discuss on this episode. As usual, my name is Oluwaseun Winsala, the great football head, the best half of this podcast.
Look at
someone that can always come back when times are tough. We always stick it through. We don't give up on our team. We don't leave the stadium when we're being beaten. We stick through the whole season. And I have with us today an Arsenal fan.
So
the second best team in the league.
Hello everyone. It's good to be here once again. Especially now that the season is over, we can really analyze things that went down. For example, how a certain team just capitulated, but it's okay. Overall, it's good to be here, and we look forward to this week's episode. We have a special guest with us here today to discuss a very interesting topic, I think. One that I'll be honest and admit that I don't know a whole lot about, but I think, we all be better informed by the end of this episode. But we will, as always, begin with a review of games from the past weekend. Then we will have our special guest talk to us about our topic, which is football directors. Then we will go over, I guess it is the upcoming week is the last week for the season. So we will just go over the last matches, and then that'll be it for the 2022-2023 season. You can tell that it's been an interesting season. But without further ado, let's go into the results for this past weekend. So I'll quickly go over them. We had Tottenham-Brentford. Tottenham lost to Brentford. United beat Bournemouth. Palace drew with and then Liverpool, Aston Villa 1-1. Wolves, Everton 1-1. Nottingham Forest, Arsenal. Nottingham Forest beat Arsenal. No, anyway, we'll touch on that. West Ham beat Leeds, and so they're fully safe. Brighton beat Southampton. City, just got their trophy at Chelsea. Leicester 0-0, and then today Brighton Man City 1-1. So that was a quick rundown of the games. I went over them very quickly because I know that Sheon wants to touch on some games. So Sheon, go ahead. Which games do you want to talk about, so that we can spend more time on them?
I don't think there's any games to touch. Honestly, it was as a lot of the games were as we predicted. I think I only got maybe one or two wrong. I can't remember which ones I got wrong. But I knew you predicted that Bournemouth was going to be United. I was like, he must be drinking something. Fulham game, I wasn't sure. In Fulham game, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I think I predicted draw or something. But Mitrovic came clutch, as I always predicted it was going to do. Then Nottingham Arsenal, honestly, there's nothing for Arsenal to play anymore. It's so crazy that the City knew they were going to lose that game, that they had a watch party. It's crazy. It's crazy how things had gone down. But let me see.
Well, I mean, honestly speaking, I'm not interested in. I think I had a long time ago that Arsenal was not going to get any out of this season. It was painful, but it was a necessary realization. It was a painful, necessary realization. So, congrats to Man City. They won the league again, thanks to a brilliant coach and a war chest of money. Because I was telling someone yesterday, that City is perhaps the only team in the Premier League that can afford to have multiple 50 million plus signings that are and still be fine. Like there's no other teams literally can't compete. But I guess
Did you just realize this season?
no, I didn't just realize it, but I mean
Because it's close to home now. That's why you're feeling the heat.
it is at a point it is actually ridiculous. So it's honestly speaking, for me, like United has a lot of money, but they are so like nobody really cares. But when a team becomes as dominant as City has become, I mean something really needs to be done.
You
Like
sound
there's
you sound so down.
no,
Your
I'm
voice
pretty
is
comfortable
low.
actually.
It's this life. Because I remember in other episodes they were upbeat, but I think this is the best time to bring in Chike. Chike is with us from Nigeria. Chike has some things to get off his chest that he has promised me to talk about. So the floor is yours, Chike. I want to enjoy this. I want to sit back and enjoy this moment, please. Make me proud. Make me enjoy this moment, please. I beg the name of God.
Nah,
Do it for me.
I think I might disappoint you a bit, Sheon, because over the past few, I think the thing is that Arsenal, as a club, I think what they did was that they made their fans dream and they got a bit too cocky. I was saying there was this guy a few months ago, about around January or so, who posted on Twitter that had this trip that was scheduled uh, for May. I think you must have seen it. There was scheduled,
Oh,
I think it was his girlfriend or a significant other that booked a trip or so during May. And this was back then in like January, February. And he tried to cancel the trip because if Arsenal had won the Premier League, that's when the parade would have been. So that was how cocky he felt. He canceled the trip in January or February because he wanted to attend the Arsenal parade. So it was, I mean, to see them being that cocky and being humbled at the same time, um,
so let, let,
there
let,
was,
let,
it
let, let me
was
interject.
satisfying. It
Yes,
was satisfying to watch.
let me interject a little. Obina and I have a lot of Arsenal fans and friends, and more than half of them were speaking about, like, they were talking about buying their tickets to England to watch Arsenal. I think it was against Wolves. They literally had a day, like they literally had a game in mind. It was against Wolves of one of those games. I'm not sure if they went through with it, but I know a lot. And I think at some point in time, I was even pushing them. Now you guys should buy your ticket. You don't know. They didn't know I was mocking them because I was sure they weren't going to win it. A lot of them, I'm not sure if they did, but it just and I asked and I was asking them that I hope they bought insurance for their tickets, because imagine losing the league and not losing money. Like that would be very painful.
50 cent,
That
50
would
cent,
be-
50 cent back in 0203 sign many men,
But
many men.
well, you
I
know
can
what?
see people that have wished death upon me.
But you
Well
know what?
done.
I think what Arsenal fans have been doing over the past few weeks, and this is me being serious now, forget the jokes and everything. I think what some Arsenal fans have been doing is that they've been trying to build City up as this kind of force that can't be, which I understand what they're trying to do. I understand that. I mean, this City team is fantastic. They might as well go on to win the treble, is a possibility. But what they're trying to do is almost to say, is almost like they're trying to absolve themselves of any blame. But my own view about how their capitulation has gone, I think it's they have to look more inward than to look at what City is doing. Because yes, City is, I mean, they've been on a winning streak till this evening when they drew with Brighton. But yeah, Arsenal's last 8 games, they won 2 games, lost three, and drawn three. Now let's remove the Man City loss out of it, okay? Because I think everybody expected them to lose to Man City, and there's no shame in losing to Man City.
Except
So
for
let's
Arsenal
take that away.
fans. Except for
No,
Arsenal
no,
fans.
no. But let's take the loss away from Man City. 2 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws in their last 7 games. I think that's very poor for a team that wants to win the league. And they've gone from leading Man City by 8 points to, I think, trailing by 8 points as it is right now. So it's I think they have to look inwards, and
I
has been very poor. This running has been very poor.
no,
So
I agree with you, your analysis. It's spot on, and there's no Arsenal fan who will absolve the team off of that and say, this is all down to Man City. In January, we should have strengthened the squad, especially attacking players, and maybe gotten a better defender. So that is like everybody. We all agree on that, and we were going after Caicedo. We should have gotten another attacking player because it was clear. So, and the major reason why it was clear that the major reason why I would say the team is responsible, because you can see that Saka there were games where he was completely marked out. Teams figured out that if you essentially double up on him, or in the case of City, put a very, very good centre back against him, like his legs were just no longer able to take him for the rest of the season. With that being said, so there's that the team and everybody who wants to get better has to look at themselves first, right? At the same time, though, there's no denying. Napoli, by the time they won the league, they had 81. They just needed 81 points to win the league. Arsenal has 81.
Oh God!
No. No. This is not absurd. I'm just look. I'm as disappointed as any Arsenal fan is with the way the season panned out. So and I get that the team should strengthen. At the same time, though, I don't know that anybody can do anything about this match. Like, you have to be because they're on course to end up with what 94 points, right?
Obina, sorry to cut you short. Wait.
92.
92. Yeah, because of the draw today. The reason why
they drew today.
The reason why I don't buy that talk is in the past 5 seasons, the only team that has pushed them that far, and everybody is like, oh yes, City is just too good, was Liverpool. Nobody said Liverpool bottled the league. Nobody said, oh, Liverpool did not try. Liverpool did all they could do. And people were like, hands up, yes, City. But and last time, honestly, like, forget I'm even benching Arsenal. On the surface of it, no matter how much I hate Arsenal so much. I hate them so much. But on the surface, on how the season had gone, I should be giving you guys praises for doing what you guys have done. But the problem is, you cannot now use that excuse of City being good, because if you guys had won those games, you would have pushed City as far as you can. Honestly, if you had pushed City that far, it would now become us being hypocrites, saying, "Oh, Arsenal bottled the league." You won't have been able to speak confidently. But now you are giving us ammunition to say you guys bottled the league. When City won the league against us, people will say United bottled the league, but we pushed them till the last game that they won on goals difference. So on that auspices, I do not agree that City is great, yes, but make them work for it. City had a watch party against when you guys played Nottingham. So I don't know what else to say.
No. First of all, there's no sensible person that will compare this City team to that 2011 team. No. You shouldn't. Okay, that's
we're not comparing. I'm saying how like the complexion of the game. I'm not saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm just making that point.
But you also know that I'm not party to comparing points, because if you're going to compare points, then you guys are lucky, because why did you two get those points? If you lose to City, home and away, that's 6 points. So what happened to other games that you guys drew and you lost? If that's an excuse you want to give, because I'm not partying to.
I'm not making that as an excuse. I'm not making an excuse. And then my second point, let me just finish, and then we can really dive into this. We should see beating this Arsenal matter. We're beating a dead horse. It's a done thing. City have won the league, like that's fine. But then you say that they were watching, having watch party. I mean, it was a 50-50 chance.
It wasn't 50-50. It wasn't 50-50.
It was Arsenal could have won the league. Arsenal could have beat Nottingham, and it would just be a bunch of teammates gathering together on a Sunday afternoon to have lunch and watch a football match together. Arsenal lost.
So you just believe in what you just said now?
Huh?
You just believe in what you just said now? You believe what you just said now?
No. Like I said, it was 50-50. Arsenal
that's why you're an Arsenal fan anyways, because you guys have division. You guys are very divisional, so I get.
I just want to say something regarding what Obina said about the transfer in January. On a personal note, I actually admire what Arsenal did. When they found, Arsenal's the objectives for the season was clear. You get us back into the Champions League, right? It was very clear. You get them back in the Champions League. But when they got to December, January, they found that we are not just in the Champions League position; we're in the position to win the league.
Win the league, yeah.
And they went into the market to get reinforcements, right? And teams tried to play on that desperation. You get, so I know they wanted Caicedo and they wanted Modric. You get, these were two players that they felt if they had gotten them would have improved their chances of getting the title.
Yeah.
And it was very obvious that Brighton and Shakhtar wanted more money. These guys they had the bargaining power, and they pushed them, pushed them, pushed them. And I actually like the fact that Arsenal stood their ground and they said, you know what, these are plan A's are not working. Let's go for plan B's. And they got Jorginho, who I liked. I think I believe that the guy came with a lot of experience. It was just a pity that he wasn't played earlier enough ahead of Partey, because Partey's form began to drop, and it took a while. It took like 3 games or 4 games before Arteta was like, you know what, let me go with Jorginho. But I like the fact that they got their plan B's, Jorginho and Trossard.
Trossard, yeah.
I'm a Man United fan, and I know that Man United is either we spend the whole window trying to get our plan A, and at the end of the day, we get Sabitzer and Vegas. So honestly, it's very, very. I admire the fact that you guys wanted some players. You're proactive. You had the budget. You went for them, but you found out that okay, this is not going to work. Let's switch to plan B. Unfortunately, it didn't work, and it left you guys with like eggs on your faces. But I admire that.
Okay,
one final point. No, the truth of the matter is, this was a very good season for Arsenal. Like I know that I was quite obnoxious in saying that Arsenal would win the league.
Delusional.
We were.
That's
it wasn't delusional, because at the end of the day, like I knew that City, this juggernaut that will just keep coming. That's fine, but we overperformed, or we overachieved, based on expectations coming to the season. So all in all, I mean, even though I'm disappointed right now, I would say it was a good season for Arsenal fans. And next season, I'm looking forward to next season. Okay.
Wait. Before you just end this on a very good
note. Oh
note.
my God.
Wait.
Okay.
Chike, what position do you think Arsenal is going to finish next season?
Oh, I don't know, but I think they'll finish in top 4. I don't know regarding if I don't think they'll win the league, but I can't say if it's second, third, or fourth. But I like the project that they have.
Top 4, right?
Yeah, top 4, yeah.
Very short. Where do you think Arsenal is going to finish?
We're winning the league next season.
Okay.
That's a short answer.
Okay,
Where do you think Arsenal will finish? Yeah.
Me, I think if Arsenal makes top 4, I'm going to clap for them.
But United, okay, and then where will United finish?
United, I think I will answer that question during the next section.
What
as we're entering? No. There's it's a very long answer. I don't want to just.
No, so give us your short answer for now, and then
I cannot give you short answer. It's a very long answer.
No, you can expand later on. Just where would they finish in next season?
United should finish top 4 next season.
Thank you. Chike, where will United finish next season?
It depends on the league, right?
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a very long
right. Right now, I don't think they'll finish. Right now, I don't think they'll finish top 4. As it is right now, I don't think they will.
Should I give you my answer? I think United will finish 9th next season.
Okay.
Don't
worry. Let's talk. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our in-house football expert, Chike, all the way from Nigeria. Is a Dortmund fan. Oh, Dortmund's about to win the league. Wow.
I was going to touch on that, actually, and I'm so happy. Like, I love Dortmund, and anyway, let's go.
Dortmund's about to win the league, and we didn't bring him because of Dortmund. We brought him in because of this topic that I would say the reason why I didn't answer the question about United's position next season is because of my feelings since I expressed in the last episode, sporting director or director of football, how those two people, how they shape and form the outlook of a football club. I don't like the word philosophy, but I guess we have to use the word philosophy. So we'll be discussing that with Chike, and I'll be saying some of the things that I said last episode just to portray why I felt that way today. And Obina would say his own part using Edu as a case study. So Chike, what's good?
I'm all right. I'm okay. Good to be here as usual. And thanks for the opportunity as well.
Yeah, you're back. You're back for all the way from Nigeria. Let's appreciate this guy, man. He's been trying to always keep him awake. We're like,
No, we appreciate your diligence
It's
and
okay.
patience with us.
you don't watch too much of
No, no. Honestly, we appreciate it, and I'm sure that our listeners too appreciate your insights and
Yeah.
the discussion that we're about to have. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just dive right into the topic because it's going to take a lot of time. What is a sporting director? What is a director of football, and how do they shape the complexion of a football club?
I think for what I would say is that those two terms, they're pretty much the same role. I mean, they can be used interchangeably. So they're not exactly two distinct roles. The sporting director or director of football, they are pretty much the same thing. And it's a role that has become very important in modern football. Okay, because back in the days, you just had a general manager who was in charge of recruitment, buying of players, selling of players, and all that. And then you had the head coach who just did handle the business on the pitch. So they both worked hand in hand. And it's something that, say, for example, I'll be using Manchester United as an example because I think it's a very obvious case. So Sir Alex Ferguson was the head coach, and David Gill was, the guy that oversaw the signing of players, recruitment, and all those things, right? And they worked hand in hand. It wasn't a modern style, but it's something that had been there for a very long time, and they stuck to that. You understand? It was just a very simple structure that worked for them. But in modern football now, there's this rise of the director of football, and the importance of that role gets. I mean, there's a growth in the importance yearly because of how much money is pumped into the sport, and how competitive, like in a league like the Premier League, how competitive smaller teams in quotes are becoming right now. So you need a director of football that gives your team the competitive edge. But what I'll my own definition of a director of football, because like I said, most people look at the role as someone who just buys players, someone who recruits players. But the way I see the director of football, it's a person who is in charge of the philosophy and the identity of a football club. Okay, it's not just someone who is a good negotiator who oversees recruitments and sales of players, even though that is part of the job. Okay, the director of football also understands the objectives of the owners and works towards that. So there are clubs that are selling clubs. Okay, like Ajax is a selling club. They produce stars from the academies, and they sell them for profit. Okay, they understand that that's where they are in the food chain, right? So in the Netherlands, they might be the top dogs in the Netherlands, but they know in Europe they are a selling club. Southampton too is an example of a selling club. Remember all the guys they've sold over the years, from Gary Bale to Walcott to Mane to Schneiderlin to Van Dijk, for huge profits. Okay, those guys, they're a selling club. And some clubs just want to challenge for trophies. They want to dominate, like Man City, Madrid, Barcelona, PSG. And the last time I was here, I talked about Dortmund and their model. Okay, they're a club that they want to pretty much accelerate the developments of wonder kids into world-class players. Okay, so they make themselves a very attractive team to youngsters. They provide a platform for them to play competitive football even at a very young age. So they get the Haalands, the Sanchos, the Pulisic, Gio Reyna, Jude Bellingham, all these guys are very talented youngsters, and they give them that Champions League football, DFB Bundesliga football, top level football. They accelerate that growth for you and they sell it for huge profit. It's a win-win. Okay. And then there are some clubs that are just relegation battlers. like Norwich, all these clubs that they're always battling relegation. They are like they call them the yo-yo clubs. So they bounce from the Premier League to the championship, stuff like that. And then there are just some other teams that are comfortable in the mid-table, like Fiorentina. So, like I said, the director of football understands each team's philosophy. You are in charge of it, the identity of the club. And when I say the key word there to look at is football club. So I didn't just say the first team, right? It's not just the
Yeah.
first team you're in charge of.
Yeah.
You're in charge of the academy, the reserves, even the women's team as well, the senior team. I mean, if you see Barcelona women's team playing, right? Let's say you see them playing in black and white, you can't recognize the jersey. But from the way they play, I'm serious, you can be able to tell that these girls are Barcelona girls because of the way they
The way
play.
they
Because
play. Yeah.
you're already used to their style of play from the men's team to the what do you call it, the youth team.
Youth
You
team.
know that these guys they play a certain way. So it's something that has been imbibed into the female team as well. So it's that uniform culture. But of course, Barcelona is an extreme case. But that's pretty much the director of football role. Is someone who is in charge of the philosophy, the identity of a football club, and is responsible for bringing all this to life.
Okay. Um. So my next question is, if in a season a club fails to hit its targets, would you sack the football director or the manager?
I think if you have, if it's not really practical to judge them season by season, except they fail woefully. So, say a team like Chelsea that you expect to make the top four, and now they're going to be finishing 12th, their worst performance in 29 years. Yes, heads
Or
must roll.
Bayern?
You get.
Or Bayern? The way Bayern has gone about their business.
Yeah, I think for Bayern, I think Salihamidzic, who is the director of football there, I believe. I think he's the one that got things wrong. It was a huge call to make when they were still in pursuit of three titles, and they might end the season trophyless. That was a big call that fired. So, in my opinion, I think he might be the guy that will take the fall. I don't think it's Tuchel's fault. Obviously, he just came in like 10 games ago. You can't really blame him for this capitulation, even though you expected better from him. But in general, I think if you fall way off the mark that has been set for you, I think in most cases to be the manager, because if the director of football does his job and does his job or her job, if the person does the job very well to a good extent, which includes providing the resources, the player personnel, the coaching personnel, the support staff that's needed by the head coach that's been hired, and the head coach cannot deliver, then it's understandable if they let the manager go at the end of the season because he fell way off the mark. But say for a team like say if Newcastle had finished fifth, for example, if they had not made the Champions League football, I don't think they would have sacked Eddie Howe, because yes, they wanted to make Champions League football, but say they finished fifth or sixth and they got Europa League, I think that's still that's still a stepping stone towards their ultimate goal in the top four you get. So I think it depends on how far off the mark you fall at the end of the season. But in most cases, it's the football is the manager, the head coach that loses his job.
I think at this
So
point we need to, sorry, Robina. At this point we need to shout out to Ashworth, Newcastle's sporting director. Is that what they call it there? Yeah, sporting director.
Yeah,
Because
he was.
this guy is like, he's going ham like any club is going. Apparently United were interested in him, but I don't know why we didn't pick him up.
Yeah, he was technical director at Brighton. Pretty much did
Brighton,
the
yeah.
same thing at Brighton. Yeah, and I remember 3 years ago he one of the people that was championing that idea of we want to be a top 10 team in the Premier League. Yeah, and right now they're a top 6 team in the Premier
Yeah,
League.
top
You know,
six.
yeah, and it's down to him and of course the owner of the club, Danny Bloom, who is just a
But into
phenomenal
the
owner.
idea. Yeah, but into the
Yeah,
idea.
I think it was
Fully.
really his idea. It was his idea, but Ashworth was just brought that idea to life.
So it means that
Yeah,
it means that the
So,
guy
Mike,
is very good.
I, sorry, go. So I have a question, I think, but
okay.
I guess I can say before. Shimon, you were making a point, right?
Oh yeah, I was saying that it means that the guy is very good because he's moved to Newcastle. Newcastle are like third at
Uh-huh.
this point, and they were the 20th or 19th when they got
When
Eddie Howe, and I think he came at another point too, right? Or it was before he came.
yeah, I believe that's when he joined.
Yes. So it's crazy how he's gone. Like it means he has a good track record. Even though I might not really support what Newcastle is doing right now for next season, but we'll get to that later. But so far so
Yeah.
good. You cannot say that they've not done well. You don't have any reservations against what they've done this season.
Speaking of, I guess, what people have done this season, my question for you, Chike, is on your thoughts about, the potential relationship at Chelsea between the owners, or I guess at the club, between the owners and the technical director, in cases where the owners, want to have day-to-day influence on who is signed and the way the club is run. Because I mean, that then, from what you're saying, that then uh, um, pre- negates the uh, uh, presence of the what's it called, technical director or director
Mm,
of football. So then,
mm.
what then would you say to Chelsea fans who are wondering why their team is so bad? Or can you draw a correlation between the fact that it's the owner Todd who's trying to be influential in the signings and where the club finds itself today?
So I think for Boli, he got a lot of things wrong, and it's probably he just enjoyed the limelight and the idea of being the guy that called the shots in at Chelsea. I think he just got power hungry, or he got too addicted to the limelight and everything, and he felt he could do. I mean, he's not new to sports. I think he's a part owner the Lakers and a part owner of the Dodgers as well. So he is not someone who's new to sports. He's been in sports for a while, and he just got here. He felt maybe this was his time to shine, and I think he did a horrible job not holding to the previous structure that already in place. I think he just wanted a clean house. He wanted like his own guys, but he wanted to be the star of the show, which I still do not understand up to now, and it backfired. I thought it was a very silly idea. The director of football role is a specialist, so it's not just about signing players. Like I said, it's about building that philosophy, building the ideology, saying this is how I want the whole club to play. And there are reasons why the director of football, they built it. Okay, like it's important if they build the team, or it's important for them to build the team around a particular idea and not manager. Okay, so it's not like, for example, oh, we want to hire Mourinho, let's build the team Mourinho style. So what happens when you get rid of Mourinho and you want to hire a Louis Van Gaal, for example? Manchester United is a case where, I mean, Chelsea is experiencing it right now, but Manchester United is a case where we have gotten that extremely wrong over the past. I mean, since Ferguson retired,
Yep.
you look at the team like Barcelona, and they're at the underhead of the they have handled that role. They understand the importance of building a team around a particular ideology. And one of the reasons why teams are built this way, okay, is that when the team is built it's on a certain philosophy, ideology, whatever you want to call it, out load, lots of wastages that are associated with modern football. Okay, for example, if the youth team and the senior team, if they play the same way, it ensures that there's a smooth transition from the junior team to the senior team. You see that a lot with Barcelona players, okay? And so Fati can come in, just slot right into the senior team. Balde, we have Gavi, Pedri, all these youngsters popping in from everywhere. And in fact, just because of the fact that Barcelona was built the same way Ajax was built, you see Barcelona going for lots of Ajax players because those guys Okay. And another thing is that when Barcelona has a problem with the coach, they don't, what they do is that they get rid of that coach, comes in a new coach that suits the club's philosophy. Okay, and that way there is no high player turnover. You don't say, oh, this new coach needs 6 new players or needs 7 new players. You hear that a lot to Manchester United, or you've heard that a lot over the
Yes.
past 2 years, right?
Yes.
Remember, we went from okay, Ferguson played a certain kind of football. It was attacking football, sometimes counter-attacking when we played against um, bigger teams, right? We played wing football, the Beckhams, the Giggs, the Ronaldos, the Nannies. We played exciting football down the wings, right? And we went from having someone like Ferguson who played attacking football to someone who played very conservative football in David Moyes. And what did we hear? David Moyes needs his own kind of players. People kept on saying he needs like 6 to 7 players. He brought in Fellaini and all that. After he got sacked, right, he brought in Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal possession football. If you think Man City plays for the possession football, man, you have to take a look at Louis van Gaal. He loved possession, right? And he needed his own kind of players. So he brought them. Those Schneiderlin, he brought in Schweinsteiger, he brought in Herrera, all those guys, right? I mean, went from that to Jose Mourinho, who was the complete opposite of Van Gaal, and so on and so forth. I mean, I can go on and on.
Please
So it was
mention
just,
Ole. Please
yeah, it was
mention Ole.
just. So what do you say?
Please mention Ole, please.
The same thing with Ole too. From going from
Ole
Jose
didn't know
Mourinho.
what he was doing. So
No, but I'm just saying when you look at the styles of play, Jose Mourinho was a defensive-minded coach, right?
yep.
Ole was an attacking-minded coach. I mean, counter-attacking, but also attacking. Remember, some of the best football Manchester United played since the Ferguson era was during the lockdown period, where we were just bashing teams, playing very exciting football. But ultimately, yes, I agree with you. He didn't know what he wasn't good enough to manage the team.
You sound like a Lakers fan.
No, but ultimately, my point is right that United had no idea what they were doing, and that was because they had no director of football who could say, "We want to play this style of play, we want to play this type of way," and that means whoever you're bringing in through the door must coach a certain style of way. Okay, must have this philosophy, must match our philosophy. It was just different people coming through the door, and that was one of the reasons why we had high player turnover. You don't see that in teams that have a director of football who understands what they want to do. It's the same thing at Dortmund, for example. Okay, they understand what they want to do. Michael Zorc, who had been there for I think 17, 18 years, right? He
Yeah.
just left. He left
Yeah.
a few years ago for Sebastian Kell, right? And those guys, they know the kind of football they want to. They know what their youth team is about. They know their recruitment policy. It's uniform. It has not changed over the past 20 some seasons. They're about to hopefully win their fourth Bundesliga title in the past 20 years, I believe. Okay. So these are people that know what they want to do. And because of a director of football building the club around an ideology, okay, it cuts out all these ways, like I said, that are associated with modern football. Higher player turnover, coaching turnover, all those things, right? So they cut all those things off. And I think that's the importance of having that role in the club. So yeah, to cut to go back to your question about Chelsea, I think they should be disappointed, but hope for there's also some cause for optimism because at a private talk last month, I believe April last, yeah, that was last month. Todd Bowley actually mentioned that he was going to take a step back, the day-to-day activities of the club. And someone else, I can't remember his name right now, but I think they're looking into hiring a director of football. So hopefully, I think for the Chelsea fans, they can look towards brighter days ahead and forget about the mess that was the past 2 summers or the past two
Please,
transfer windows.
please don't give Chelsea fans hope because we believe it's the banter era and we don't want it to finish to end anytime soon. So,
Facts.
I have a question for you. What happens in a situation where, because I don't really think every club will have that philosophy, right? Every club will have that ideology. So, what happens in a situation like Manchester United that they say in quotes United has a way that we play, a United way. But honestly, I don't think we have a United way. And we're trying to get that elusive United way. What happens where you bring in So how do you, okay, in United as a case study, how do you resolve a situation that we are going through right now, where apart from the sale of the club, that is like extreme, but a situation like United where we don't even know how United plays. So how do you resolve that situation when to bring in a director of football?
Just to go back to what I said at the beginning, where you said they are different. I said they are different. Different clubs have their different targets or aims or philosophies or anything. There are clubs that are battling relegations. There are clubs that are okay with being selling clubs. There are clubs that meet table clubs, right? So it's I understand the first question you asked when you said not every club can have this ideology, but I think every club has what they want to achieve. And like I said, not all director of football are going to be like Dortmund or going to be like Man City. Okay, you understand where you are as a club. You have to be realistic with your targets, and then bring in a director of football who understands that and executes that plan, right? But to answer your question about the Manchester United, we have a director of football now, and to be very honest, I've not been impressed with him. Okay, that's John Martel. He's the one that has been. I think he was promoted from player development to director of football 2 years ago, and I have not been impressed with what he's done. Okay, because so say this season, for example, you brought in Ten Hag, who I feel was a fantastic hire. I think we were lucky to get him. He was a very good fit. He was determined and he's very strong-willed. Okay, the way he handled the first team, especially the Ronaldo situation, I thought it was fantastic, and he laid that his authority over the team. So as much as there are people, for example, liked Ronaldo, they understood that okay, yeah, this guy messed up, and but we have a manager who holds him accountable. Remember when Rashford overslept and came late to a meeting, and he was dropped against Wolves? He came in as a sub and scored, thankfully, so we didn't have to suffer for that. But someone who held the squad accountable, someone who could coach them out, I thought that was a fantastic hire. But I don't believe he was supported enough. I think lots of the signings we made were down to his Dutch connection, so to say. We signed Malaysia from the Eredivisie. Martinez and Anthony were gotten from his former club Ajax. Ericsson was on a free, and then we slightly overpaid for Casemiro. Now, a lot of those signings, well, not a lot, two of those signings, they've turned out to be very good signings. Ericsson is, I think, a little bit above average. Malaysia and Anthony, a lot to be desired. Malaysia was brought in as a backup, so I didn't really have high hope for him. But we paid 100 for Anthony, so we should be getting more from him. But like I said, I think Eric Ten Hag must feel let down by what he's seen so far.
Well,
There was no
Ghost.
support. Yeah, yeah. I'm even coming to that because, like I said, at Arsenal, they saw that okay, we are at a position where we might win the league for the first time in how many years? Since 2005, right? And they went into the market, they supported their manager. Yes, they didn't get their plan A targets, but they got their plan Bs, right? For Manchester United, we were in a position where, well, the objective for Man United at the start of the season was, for me, was obvious, was straightforward. You get us back to Champions League, and then we make deep in cup competitions, right? Those were the objectives of Manchester United. And Eric Ten Hag has done that, or he's on the verge of doing it. He's 1 point away from getting Manchester United back into the Champions League. We got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, made the finals of the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, won one already. I think we're going to lose to Man City, but that's something different. So I think he has held up his own side of the bargain. But for the fact that Manchester United didn't support him in January, all they got was Weghorst. I mean,
Sapisa.
imagine a player like Cristiano Ronaldo leaving the club, and Anthony Martial is, and all you can give him is Vegas. I thought that was a big letdown. Okay, that was a huge letdown. And again, it's a Dutch player, so he had to rely on Erik Ten Hag and his Dutch connections to get in someone through the door. I thought that was very very poor from them. So to me, I think Manchester United getting a new director of football. I've not been impressed over the past 2 years with what I've seen from John Motto. I feel like we deserve better. That's one way to resolve what has been or what is going on at the club right at the moment. Obviously, there's a bigger problem, which is the Glazers. But I mean, let's not go into that. But I
Let's not
think,
go to that. Yeah.
yeah, let's not go into that. But I think the current director of football, John Moss, I feel like he's done a very horrible job.
So
And
the reason why I'm going to say two things. First things first.
okay,
Remember, I texted you that I said Etienne out.
okay, yeah, you
You
did.
remember, right?
And we had that discussion last week. And so
Yes.
so what's funny is all the points you just outlined, Chike, were the exact same points that I made last week. So Sheon is no need to Sheon, but sometimes United fans are coconutted.
No, no, no.
And this is what we're
No. See,
saying.
listen. The reason why that's the part of the reason why I'm saying Etienne out. One of the major reasons why I wanted him out, and I still want him out, because I feel next season will even be worse. One of the major reasons is that Ronaldo debacle, then getting Wegos. That's that. I don't understand that part. Like that
No,
did
but
not part with me.
no,
Hold on.
yeah, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that part did not like. And I don't like the idea of United fans praising him for that Ronaldo situation, because that is how a manager who knows his onions will handle the situation. But that's aside. That's not a big deal. To me, I believe yes, Ronaldo should have gone, but no problem. But my problem stems from the fact that you do not have a good plan for that ousting, and okay, you finally got something. Of all the players in this whole world, I would have preferred you to even play a midfielder in that position where Ghost. Because it's so bad. But
The man pushed Argentina to the brink of
please, please, please,
elimination in
please,
the
please,
World
please,
Cup.
please, 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 please,
So
Okay,
please.
but
But
that's
but
what you guys saw.
but the thing that is really like disappointing about United is, and now these are the reasons why I've been telling United fans, Arsenal fans, all of us gawked. Let me use the proper word. We all missed the opportunity, missed the chance. What City did that I don't think any club has be able to replicate is getting three strong men from Barcelona, and those guys are the ones that laid the foundation of what City is enjoying right now. We missed the opportunity of getting football knowledge into the club. The CEO is from Barcelona. Technical director is from Barcelona. They want that guy too. Like three of them, they laid the foundation even before they got Pep. I think it was because of that they went to go and get Pep. So we missed the opportunity, and that is really, really telling, because right now United doesn't have any star. Because every time you keep hearing the managers were not supported. So which manager was supported? Which manager did buy his players? Because we've spent a lot of money, and the players that we bought are players that the managers, in quotes, quote and unquote, not necessarily wanted, but fit into their style of play. I can give you LVG, I can give you Mourinho, I can give you Ole. Right now, I'm giving you Eric Ten Hag. And that is one reason why I'm saying next season, we're going to struggle real bad, because there are so many factors that are going against us.
okay, so to answer your question, right? Well, like what I was talking about Manchester United earlier, I told you that one of the reasons why we've had like high player turnovers was because there was no method to what we were doing. Okay, it's not just about spending money. It's not just about spending money. So you have to spend the money intelligently. You look at what Brighton has done. They've spent a fraction of what United has, and they are playing much better football than we are right now. And that's because they had a particular philosophy, what they wanted to do. We brought in the right guys to bring that philosophy to life. Okay, so when they got Graham Potter, he played a certain style of football. Okay, when he went over to Chelsea and they got in the
Zerbi.
Zerbi also played the
The
same style of
same way,
football,
yeah, the
and
same,
he was
yeah.
an even better manager. So, like for Manchester United, I made that point of having different managers, and that is why those managers they want to play with players that fit themselves. You can't carry a Jose Mourinho team and give Van Gaal to
Van
manage
Gaal.
or carry Van
Yep.
Gaal. It is there's no miracle that work. Those guys are too deep. If you carry a Conte team and give Mourinho, yeah, that one makes more sense because those two guys they know that they're there for short term. They don't like young players. They like veteran players, players that they don't have to micro, players who they don't have to like whine when they drop them, players who have gotten rid of all what will I call them? All those silly mistakes in their game. Jose Mourinho will see a player like, let's say Martinelli, for example, and a player like Milner, and I promise you, Jose Mourinho would rather have a Milner.
Yep.
One, forget, and of course, Martinelli is one of the best. Is one of the best wingers in the Premiership at the moment, right? But Jose Mourinho doesn't like all those young players, say Isaka and Martinelli, because he knows those kind of players, they might be excellent, but they go through these spells of inconsistency, which happens to every young player, right? Jose Mourinho just wants to win. He just wants to win right now. He would rather have a Milner who has gotten rid of that phase in his career, who is a player who gives you a 7/10 over every day. He doesn't want a
Yep.
10/10. Just give me my 7/10. Let me go.
Let me go
That's the
home. Yeah.
performance that you get. So if for a club like Manchester United, we have gotten the whole thing wrong, the whole project wrong. So it is unfair for us to lay too much blame on the managers for that, because these managers are just coming in. If they come in, they have to play with their own style of football. It's very hard for them to work with what is there already. It's like Ten Hag, for example, now, okay? He plays a certain style of football. He likes his player, his goalkeeper to be, to start the attack. He wants to build from the back. And David De Gea clearly cannot do that, okay? And you see, it has cost us a lot in the Premiership. It has cost us in the Europa League. It has cost us, okay? So things
I
like
love
that.
it.
So things like that, you need players that suit a certain philosophy, a certain style of play. It doesn't have to be playing from the back. It can be players that suit counter-attacking football. If you're building your team around counter-attacking football, that is okay. There is no superior style of football. I keep on saying it.
Chike, you're a
There is no
United fan. Oh,
no. I'll keep on saying it. There is no one style of playing football. Jose Mourinho has won trophies upon trophies upon trophies. Who are you to say that his own style of football is inferior to, say, an Arsene Wenger, for example, or inferior to a Louis van Gaal? You can't say that. At the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to win, and he does that. You get. So I don't care. I'm not saying Manchester United team around counter. I'm just saying in general, if you're going to build your team around counter-attacking football, that is fine. Then get in a manager that plays or manages that style of with that certain way. Okay, and that's when you do that, it cuts away all these high player turnover, all these talks of I have to get my own six players, I have to get my own seven players. You'll never hear that about a Barcelona manager, because anybody that is brought in through the door manages the
yeah,
Barcelona way,
the same
and
and the same
the
resources.
players there, they play a certain style of football.
Yeah, I agree
So
with
there
you.
is no high player turnover. Regarding the Cristiano Ronaldo
Really
situation,
quickly, Chike, really quickly. You all know
okay,
what's funny? Shey, I made this point 2 weeks ago. Is it because you're hearing from a United fan now
What did you
that
say?
I said that it is important for a team to have its philosophy, and you were stuck on the point that no, coaches have to be flexible. And I'm saying no. Do you remember now? You were saying that
Wait,
you prefer coaches to be
I don't
flexible.
want to. I don't want us to extend this discussion too much.
I just wanted to make
But
that point.
I do not agree. I'm not. I'm saying about that doesn't mean I agree with him. I don't agree with him.
You said yeah, I agree. You
No, no,
literally
no, no,
just
no,
said
no,
that.
no. I'm with Barcelona's context, like in Barcelona's, because Barcelona plays a certain way. Since I've been watching Barcelona all my life, I started watching football when they've been playing the same way. So I understand that there's like guidelines to it. You cannot tell
No,
me
that
that Madrid has a philosophy, or you cannot tell me United has a philosophy. There's no way you can
no,
tell
no,
me
no,
that.
no. No, I said for a team to succeed, it's better for them to have a
So
philosophy.
Madrid have a philosophy,
Madrid's
please.
philosophy, actually, generally speaking, it is what they do is they just let players express themselves,
Okay.
right? Yeah, and that
I
in
believe so
itself,
too.
and that in
When
itself
did
is a
that start? When
philosophy.
did that start?
It's always been like that. The
No.
players on the
Yeah,
pitch, it's always been like that for Madrid.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and they're
For
and
I'll
example, the
give
they're
Galacticos.
I'll give you
For example, the
Chelsea.
yeah, exactly,
Galacticos.
and
Yeah,
they're like the Lakers of football, because
yeah,
they like bringing the huge stars, okay,
superstars. Yeah,
just
who know what to
entertaining
do on the
football.
pitch.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
philosophy. Okay, what about
that
Chelsea?
is
Chelsea on
Chelsea.
Abramovich.
No. We can't say under Abramovich there were different iterations
So what was the
because
philosophy?
you can't.
I think for Chelsea, it was more of like counter-attacking and attacking football. It was never like a possession-based
A
style.
clear,
It
yeah,
was more,
yeah.
yeah, it was more of
So that's the philosophy
counter-attacking.
you want.
So that was their own ideology,
That's
okay.
their
And like I
identity. I don't
said,
agree with it, but yeah,
and it's not exact. It's not only a style of play, okay. There are other things that go into it.
that great.
It's also
Exactly.
it's also the way you build your team, okay.
The profile
Like
of players you get.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. All those things too matter. For when you look at a team like Manchester City and the way they built their teams over the years, Manchester City, they don't go to buy superstars. If you
yep.
look, if you really think about it, the last time they bought someone who we consider a superstar, let's take Haaland away from it because he's a wonder kid, right? He's like the rare guys, like the Mbappe, for example. When PSG got Mbappe, these are wonder kids who have been stars right from their teenagers, right? But they buy players like a few years before they get into their prime, or just when they are just about to
Yep.
get into their prime.
Give
So
an
you
example
look
of
at
that.
Raheem
like
Sterling.
like De Bruyne. De Bruyne was not world class when they bought him.
De
He
Bruyne was the
not world
best
class.
player in Bundesliga when they bought
No,
him.
he was not.
No,
He
no,
was
no,
just
no, no,
about
no,
to be
no.
world class.
He was
He
just yeah.
had
He was just
No,
about to be a
so
world class
wait.
player.
There's a difference
He
between
was just
wait.
about to be a world class
Okay, let me
player.
ask you a question. Being a world class player means you've done it over time, right?
Yeah, will you consider Nkunku? Will you consider him a world class player right now?
No. But
Yeah, but
wait.
he was the best player in Bundesliga last season.
So okay, let me give you a counterpoint to that. I understand City don't buy superstars, which is okay, but you cannot tell me that City do not buy certain type of players because
No, that's what I'm saying.
wait. City buys the best players either in the squad or in the league. So tell me
I
which player wasn't the best player in the squad or in the league when they bought him.
No,
Mention one,
I just
please.
gave you one. I
no,
just gave
I
you one.
know.
I just mentioned Raheem Sterling.
The
No, I
I just
think,
Sterling.
mentioned Raheem Sterling.
I
Sterling was
think,
not the
I
best
think,
player in the league
I think, no, I think,
by
I
a
think,
long
I think, I
stretch.
think, I think we're getting it wrong. What me I'm saying is that they just before they become world class players, or just before they hit their peak. I'm
But
saying that
but
is what they did. So,
those players were
of
still the
course they are
best
good.
players
Of
in the
course, they are
squad
good now.
Of
or in the
course,
league.
but
Of course,
they
they are
are
good.
not at their peak. It's
They are
just like,
not at their
say
peak.
for
I give
example,
you another
say,
player. I give you another player. David Silva, when they got him,
yeah,
was not the best player in the league. He was, but you could see that
exactly.
He was
this
the
guy
best player
was
in the
a
squad. He was the best player in
no.
the squad.
But a struggling Valen. I mean, if you are a struggling, so I tell you that if somebody goes and buys Morgan Gibbs White or from Nottingham Forest, now you say that that's a fantastic
See
buy
who
because
you
he's the
call
best
now.
player on the team.
See what they are calling now.
No,
Wait,
no, 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 no.
let me ask a question.
No, but
Did
they
you
would.
know? Wait, now that Silva that you mentioned. Did you know that we had high expectations of Silva when he was purchased? Did you know that?
Yes, that is true. That is true. I don't think
As
we
you
are far
should.
off. I don't think we are really far off in the point you're trying to make. And what I'm saying is that they don't go like they're not going to go into the market to buy, say, a Lewandowski, right? I think Harry Kane will have been the exception to the rule. Or you can look at players like Riyad Mahrez and Gundogan, who were, I believe, world-class players at the time, because Riyad
Yep.
Mahrez was the EPL's best player with
Yep.
Leicester before they bought him. So I think those are the exceptions to the rule. But if you look at it generally, right, I'm saying that their own style of football, I'm not saying they buy bad players. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they buy players just before they hit their peaks.
Yeah.
And
And
also
and, and
add
what
that part.
that and,
Add
and
that
what
part.
what that means for them, right, is that they don't pay excessively. So they have a lot of 60 million players. But I mean, what's his name? Jack Grealish is the exception, the 100 million, right? But that isn't the norm in Man City. Man
Jabishi,
City
the
go
best player
for
in the squad.
what?
The best
But
player in the squad.
a
No,
Villa
but
that was
no,
struggling though,
no,
like
it is true. I'm not saying they don't buy the best players in the squad. I'm saying we're talking about two totally different things. I'm saying they buy players just before they hit their peak. It doesn't matter if you're the best player in your team or not. I'm just saying they don't go exactly for, they don't go for, let's say, the top player in the Ballon d'Or or the top three player in the Ballon d'Or. They don't do that. You won't see them going to buy a Salah who is like a pure world class player, one of the best in the world. They don't do that. They buy players just before they become that.
So you're
I do have
you're
a
shading
point though,
United.
Chike.
You're
I
shading
do have a
United.
point. I do have I have a point though, that I think again it is nice that they have the money that they have. that they can
Yes,
afford
exactly.
to
Of course,
splash 50,
exactly,
60 M because
exactly,
there's no
exactly,
other team that can have
exactly.
multiple. Exactly. Yeah. So
I agree with you.
so
I agree with you. The money is important, but
Chike is
but
Chike is
but,
shading
but they
United.
also have the knowledge. But they also what?
no, no, of course.
I say you're shading United.
No, of course, we are poorly run now. There's no, it's not a shade. It's a fact. It's not a shade
It's a
if it's a
statement of
fact.
fact. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they are poorly run. We know that. So it's not shade or anything. I mean, I love them. I love them very well. But I mean, I'm always truthful
You
when it
see,
comes to things
Chige,
like this.
I just want you and dear listeners, you can see there are two types of people in this world. There are those who would, out of trying to protect their own, deny reality. People like Sheon, for example,
I don't understand.
you're trying to claim that Chike statement of fact is shading United.
No.
He's
Excuse
just
me.
saying the truth.
Wait. Excuse me.
Truth.
Do you think I do not support what he's saying about United?
It didn't
I
sound like that.
mean,
It didn't sound like
you
that.
listen to me last episode now. Like when it
It,
comes to United,
this,
listen to me. When it comes to United, I can state like 100 reasons why I feel United is a poor club. I can tell you 100 reasons. About the reasons why United is still
as you
a
should.
big team is because we
Past
have
glory.
the organic name which is helping us. Like
Past glory. Past glory.
United is the only club in the world that the fans will buy memorabilia, will buy jerseys, regardless of where we are at the point of season. Maybe Arsenal too. Maybe Arsenal.
Okay.
When Arsenal were 8, Anyways,
Cap. Anyway.
this episode is very hot. Like I feel we still have more. So we're gonna do part 2, Chike. I'm gonna do part 2, and it's gonna be an off-season discussion. So this is like a nice sweet spot to hold pause. Although even though I have a question for you, but it's probably too late. It's too late. Time has gone. Time has gone. That one
but on a
we will
serious
still
note,
argue.
Chike, we appreciate you
We will still argue.
taking the time to, and as you can see, we touched on a variety of things. So we started off with technical director, and then we just moved on to team philosophies, and so it was a very interesting conversation. And now we move on to the final part of
the wait, sorry. So the reason why we brought up this topic was because we got a feedback from one of our listeners that accused me, Oluwaseun, of being against Etiag and asking me what I would do as director of football. So I've not been able to answer that question. I'll probably answer it in this part 2 of this topic.
Can I ask one question? I know you've been asking me. I want to ask you now. Right?
Yes.
Because you feel you want Ten Hag out.
Yes.
Right? Which of you? I mean, obviously, I don't agree with because I like him. Who would you want to replace him with? Because I'm a fan of if someone points out a problem, you also point out a solution. So if you get rid of Ten Hag, who would you want as a replacement, or who do you feel would be an adequate?
I've been asked this question from the beginning of the season, and my answer remains the same. I don't know. If I know, I'll be the director of football in Old Trafford right now. I'll be sitting on that seat.
Well, you can't do that now.
For real.
Who is in the market now? Who is available
honestly
now?
don't know. Honestly, don't know.
Ruud van Nistelrooy is available now. Good boy, and he won trophies with
PSG.
Yeah, 2 titles. Yeah. My brother, please let's be very honest. Let's be very honest. Van Nistelrooy cannot lace Ten Hag's boots. Let us be honest.
No, I agree. Honestly speaking, I don't know why Sheon doesn't like the guy, but I'm okay with that. It just means
fantastic coach. He's a fantastic coach, but he's just in a very, very tough situation. Unfortunately.
All right. With that, we move on to predictions. So we have the upcoming week is Super Sunday, as they call it. It's the last round of games. All the matches will be played at the same time. But then there's one more game that will be played before then. That'll be played tomorrow, Manchester United versus Chelsea, because both teams have a game in hand. So really quickly, who do you think will win? And then we'll go down in the order of games. United Chelsea tomorrow.
Draw.
Chike.
I think I'll go with draw too. They've drawn their last 5 games. I don't know. They just have a thing for draw, so draw.
Chelsea. Chelsea win. because I need United not to make Champions League. Arsenal Wolves.
Remember, we just need the draw to get to Champions League.
Yeah. Which is why I said I know you lose the game.
Okay, let's
Arsenal
go.
Wolves.
Arsenal.
Chike.
I don't know. I can't trust you. I don't trust you guys anymore. But I think last game of the season, you guys will want to reward your fans with a win. So I'll do it for you guys.
It's at the Emirates.
Oh, reward people that travel in to come and carry the trophy.
Yeah, so that they'll
people that traveled to come and carry trophy.
It's the last
them
game
have
of the
3 points.
season. It's at the Emirates, 3 points. Aston Villa Brighton, that'll be a good game.
Yeah, that'd be a very good game.
Very wonderful game.
Yeah.
Very wonderful game. I would like to see Aston Villa win though.
Yeah, same here.
I think that might secure a conference league spot for them. But I think it's only the draw.
Same here. I see a draw in that game because Brighton will not want to leave. We want to finish on a high, and Aston Villa too want to draw.
Yeah, that's Europe for Aston Villa. I think Villa will actually do it. I think Villa will do it because they're at home. Brentford City.
City has to win this game because it sets the tone for the 2 games after this game. So they need to win.
Stuff. I mean, they don't have Ivan Toney, but Brentford is the only team to beat City at the Etihad in all competitions. The only team. So they've been playing very well over the past few weeks, even without Toney. But I think Man City wins this.
Yeah, they have to win. They have to win because they drew today. They have to win again.
It'll be a physical game because that's what Brentford does. But I think City will win. Chelsea Newcastle.
I see Newcastle. Very unpredictable game. But I see Newcastle.
I think Chelsea will lose spectacularly.
I'll split it and go with a draw because they're at home. It's a Stamford Bridge. It's the last one.
When has that ever mattered?
That's stop anything.
No. But I'm saying because the prospect of Pochettino, I think they'll just go with a draw. Palace, Nottingham Forest.
Palace.
I
say Palace. Yeah.
Same here.
But this guy's going to score. So Eze is going to score, and our
Awuni,
the Yakini of our generation is going to score too. So.
Everton, Bournemouth.
That's interesting. I see Everton winning. I think Bournemouth, since they escaped relegation mathematically, they've just taken their foot off the gas.
Are you sure?
I think it's 3 straight losses for Bournemouth, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Yeah, 3 straight losses for them since they secured relegation.
Okay.
So they've taken their foot off the gas, even though they played a bit well against United. But I think Everton needs the win to secure survival. So I see them winning that.
I see this as a Bournemouth win. I need Everton to lose.
This guy is Everton.
You are just going with what you want, not what you think will happen.
My predictions are fueled by my desires. So, Leeds, Tottenham.
This game is just going to be all over the place. Honestly, I don't even know who's going to win because Tottenham is rubbish. Leeds is like open sesame. Honestly, you might predict high scoring game. And they might end up playing 1-1 or 2-1. I think it's going to be a draw, maybe 3-3 or something.
I see Spurs winning. I think Leeds they've overstayed their welcome in the Premier League.
They need to get out.
I think the owners poorly managed the season, and they're going to pay for it. So I think Spurs just get it done.
I like Leeds, but I think they'll go down. So Spurs will win. Yeah. And then Leicester, West Ham.
Oh, so I think West Ham will be resting lots of players for their Europa Conference League final. So I think they'll make 10-9 changes. I see Leicester winning this.
Yep, I see Leicester winning this and staying up. Yep. I need Leicester to stay up.
I think I think they will. I think they will win, but they won't stay up because I feel Everton is going to win, and Everton's above them. Everton just needs to win, and that's all. If
Yeah,
Everton
yeah,
wins, they survive. If Leicester wins and Everton doesn't
yep,
matter. So I
yep.
think they will win, but they will still relegate.
Mm,
That's what I
nah,
feel.
United Fulham.
United. Fulham want to do payback, but
Yep.
it's going to fall in our hands.
Okay, so you say United, Chike.
Yeah, I see. We've not lost since the opening day. I can actually see a world where United draws this game if we manage to get that 1 point against Chelsea, because
Yeah.
we have the FA Cup to look forward to. We'll rest the big guys, Casemiro, Bruno, all those guys. We'll rest all of them, and I can see Fulham getting a draw, maybe even a win, but I'll go for a draw.
Okay. Uh, I see a Fulham win,
Oh,
and
So
that ensures
United
United misses
United is
out in
not.
the Champions League. Yep. That ensures United. I can see it crystal clear.
wow.
So mark my words. Hear me and hear me now. Fulham win. United not making Champions League. And then the
Oh,
final game of I guess final game on the list. Southampton Liverpool. Liverpool wins emphatically, thus ensuring that they make the Champions League next season.
They will win.
Yeah.
Liverpool will win, but it will amount to nothing. It
Okay.
will go mean anything.
Okay. Chike.
yeah, yeah. Same here. Liverpool. I mean, Southampton, they've just been five straight
Now
losses, if not more. So
Yeah.
they are already gone. I mean, dead and gone. So, well, thank you everyone for listening. With that, we have come to the end of this episode. As always, listen, share the podcast, and we look forward to your feedback. Any last word, guys?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chike, for coming through. We have our next episode will be all selecting our respective team of the season. That is something you won't want to miss. That will be our next episode that will cap the season. But once again, keep supporting United, keep praying for us. Your prayers have made
You
us
need
so
prayers.
far.
You need prayers. You need
Arsenal
prayers.
Arsenal fans did not pray enough. That's why they don't win the league. So even the Bible says when something is going good, you need to pray. When something is going bad, you need to pray. But when it was
I
going
mean,
good for them, they did not pray. But when things are going bad, when they now start praying, it was already late by then. So
Anyway,
my last word is this will be a very great weekend for Dortmund. We're about to
yes,
gain
yes,
our first league
yes,
title since
congrats.
in 10 years. So this will
yes.
be Marco
Congrats.
Royce's. This will be Marco Royce's
Final,
first
yep.
title. Yeah, and
First title, that's crazy.
his first league title. I'm really looking forward to it.
Damn.
I
Damn.
just I really hope they don't mess it up against Mainz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same here.
yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, Mainz they've lost 4 games in a row, and they're ninth. They have nothing to play for. So I think Dortmund
And
should win this season.
I know how quickly football changes. So you guys need a draw to win the league, right?
No. We
No,
need to
a
win
win.
You need to
because
win.
A win.
the goal
It's
difference
2 points.
is
Yeah,
very inferior to
Bayern.
Bayern's.
Bayern's.
Yeah, so you can't even. I think 53 to 39 something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and have a
Yeah,
wonderful week
Yeah.
yeah.
Bye.
or
Thanks for
rest of the
having me
week.
again.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.